The sky was weeping. Dark clouds hung over the village as rain painted the fields silver. An old farmer, Mahesh, made his slow walk home, his hat soaked, his boots caked in mud, and his heart just as heavy as the sky above. Then, he heard it. A soft, broken cry. Barely audible over the rain. He turned toward the forest path, and there, under an old fig tree, was a boy. Small. Alone. Trembling. Mahesh knelt beside him, his voice gentle. "Where is your home, son?" The boy didn't answer. He just looked up with wide, terrified eyes. So Mahesh did the only thing he could. He picked him up, and brought him home. That night, the fire burned warm. The boy sipped sweet milk and curled up in a blanket far too big for him. He said no name, offered no story. So Mahesh called him Chotu. Days turned to weeks. Chotu stayed. He fed the chickens. Helped with the goats. Laughed at Mahesh's old jokes. And Mahesh, he laughed too. Something he hadn't done in years. He had lost his own son to the city long ago. But now, somehow, the silence was full again. Full of stories. Full of life. But life, as Mahesh knew, is delicate. One afternoon, under the burning sun, Chotu ran to play behind the barn. And then came the scream. Mahesh dropped his tools and sprinted, heart in his throat. Chotu lay on the ground, clutching his leg, eyes wide with pain. A snake slipped into the grass nearby. A viper. Mahesh's hands moved on instinct. He carried Chotu inside, tied a cloth above the bite, and crushed healing herbs from his garden. His voice trembled as he whispered. "You'll be okay, Beta. Stay with me." But the boy's breathing slowed. His skin turned pale. So Mahesh held him close. Told him stories. Of the day the rain brought them together. Of the mango tree he planted just for Chotu. Of the love he thought he'd forgotten. Hours passed. Then, a flicker of breath. A stir. Chotu opened his eyes. He lived. Tears streamed down Mahesh's cheeks. Not of grief, but of overwhelming, impossible relief. The next day, Mahesh built a small shrine near the barn. Not to mourn. But to honor. Life. Love. And the bond between a lonely old man, and a boy who had no one. In a quiet village, in a modest home, two hearts once lost, found each other. And neither would ever be alone again.